Welcome to Knicks.com. Jonah Ballow here with Carmelo Anthony, and as we head to the West Coast on this trip, the Los Angeles Lakers is one of the opponents, and Kobe Bryant. This will be one of the last times, or the last time, you'll get a chance to step on the floor with him. I just want to get to know a little bit about your relationship with Kobe Bryant. When's the first time you saw him play basketball?
Oh, man, when he first got drafted, that year, that season, was when I first started watching. When I first saw him play. And then just over the years, the way that he evolved. And then when I came into when I came into the NBA, got a chance to play against him for the first time. It was a special moment for me.
What was that first time like? What were the exchanges there that you guys had?
It wasn't really at that point. I was young. I was a rookie. So it wasn't really that many exchanges between the both of us. It was just, competitors. They was trying to win. We was in the West. They was in the West. So it was battles.
When you look at his career, it's interesting as an outsider. Obviously, you know him pretty well, but the perception of Kobe Bryant early on was that he was an aloof player. He had those battles with Shaq. He kind of did his own thing, especially from where he grew up. And now he's this guy who everybody's embracing. You, Chris Paul, LeBron James, you're all buddies. He seems to have moved into a different space. Have you seen that out of him as a person who's close to him?
Of course, man. I think right now he's realizing, kind of what the impact that he can have on the game, the impact that he's going to leave, that he want to leave, and he has the opportunity to do that right now. I think before it was just more of him just kind of locked into perfecting his craft, and that was his focus. It wasn't about nothing else but just being great and how he can be great. Staying in the gym, he dedicated his life to the game of basketball. And I think now, putting all that into perspective. The way that the game is going, the younger the guys are coming in, he has the opportunity to, kind of, I don't want to say pass the torch, but teach them in a different ways.
When did your relationship develop with him? And it started at the Olympics?
Well, it got solidified at the Olympics, but previous to that, when we was having our battles in LA and Denver days, it was just us battling on the court. And when we finally met at the actual Olympics and we sat down and talked, and he said, "Man, you gained my respect." And just the way that he tests people out there on the basketball court, everything is a test just to see if you're gonna respond to him, if you're gonna back down from him, how tough you are. It was all about toughness with him.
Was there a specific moment during your playing time that stands out that you can remember with him?
Yeah, I remember one time. This is actually when we first started to okay. I respect him. It was actually here. We came down. He fouled me one time. I fouled him. He came back and fouled him. He fouled me again. I came back and fouled him again. He was getting the ball. I was just trying to deny him, trying to get the ball out of his hands. And we were just basically for like a span of 2-3 minutes, we were just beating each other up. And I remember him coming to me saying, "Man, you gained my respect. You earned my respect." Just from that simple fact that I do that to a lot of people, and they back down, and you didn't back down. So it was a great, kind of a great honor for me.
Was there some trash talk going on there?
Always, always, always.
What can you take from Kobe Bryant, and what is the message that he's delivered to you as he now moves on to the second part of his life past the basketball career? What can you learn from him?
Just his mentality, the way that he approached games, the way that he approached individuals, the way that he approached different situations, the way that he was able to just block out everything on the outside and just focus on playing basketball and perfecting his craft when the time permitted it. So that's what I can take from him. That's what I've learned from him, and that's the advice that he will always give me.
You talked about a couple times during these media scrums, and when we talked to the media about the pressure being on your shoulders and you dealing with the limelight. Is that something that you can also take away from him, because he was always the one in the crosshairs and he was the guy that took it on?
He was, we kind of relatable in that sense a little bit, but that's something that we always talk about. How to accept everything that comes your way, whether good or bad or indifferent. You got to be the one to stand up to it. When things are going great, stand up to it, accept it. When things are going bad, stand up to it and accept it. And that's something that I've learned, how to deal with better over the years.
Prediction on where you think Kobe Bryant ends up now in the second stage of his life?
Who knows? Who knows, man? I know him personally, so he gonna get antsy being around that house.
yeah.
And so he gonna figure something out though.
Something competitive, I'm sure.
Something competitive.
Always appreciate your time. It was very interesting to hear about this relationship and enjoy the game against Kobe.
Thank you. Thank you.
There he is, Carmelo Anthony, right here on Knicks.com.